Hey, live chat. I don't suspect anyone's going to be here because I didn't announce this. Um, I thought I'd just kind of change things up a bit. You know, I don't really know what to expect from a live stream other than I want to continue to make content. Like I want to take you on my journey and I want to explain a few things about how I animate, what programs I'm using, and just kind of my process. I recently did a post. About how I'm switching to Moho. For the past 12 years, I've been an After Effects animator, and After Effects is fine. I'll probably still use it. No disrespect to After Effects animators. I hit a limit. I hit my wall to where my rigs weren't performing in a way that was enjoyable anymore. Dude, I would make these like super awesome rigs, and they'd have these really cool capabilities, but After Effects is not the best program to utilize rigs like this in. And so I just hit a point where I was so unhappy with animating in After Effects, and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it. I had a meltdown. I was like, and by the way, if you're dealing with like lag in After Effects, you're not the only one. There are dozens of people who struggle with lag in After Effects. It's just a normal thing. Like, if you think you're the only one in After Effects who has terrible render times, you can't get real-time reactions when you're playing your animation back, you're not the only one. That's a huge problem. And for me, that was just the final nail in the coffin, to where it's like, I can't do this anymore. I cannot animate in After Effects. I'm having the worst time. So I started looking at my options. Obviously, Toon Boom is like a very prolific. It's very prevalent in the animation industry, and so I looked at Toon Boom, and it's a great program. Obviously, there's talented artists that use that. It's just a little rich for my blood. It's expensive. I think I looked it up. It was like over $600 for a year, and it's a subscription base. So then I have to pay that $600 again next year. It's like, man, that's expensive. And then I had heard about this program called Moho, and I was like, let me look at Moho, and I saw some people were doing some pretty cool stuff with it. So I checked out Moho, and I was impressed, thoroughly impressed. And the thing that got me is that you can do real-time animation right there. You do a move, you hit play, and it's just playing immediately, exactly how you want it to play. And that, I wanted to bring some joy back into animation, because After Effects had sucked the life out of me. It was not enjoyable to animate anymore. And so learning Moho has brought the joy back. It really has, and it's crazy. Now, Moho is very expensive as well, but it's a one-time purchase. So you buy it, I think it's about $400 to get Pro, and you get it. It's your program. You get to use it as much as you want. And I was doing the numbers like After Effects. Yeah, you're spending like $30 a month for the suite, or I can't remember how much it is. But when you crunch the numbers, that's almost $400 a year annually that you're paying to use that program. So it's like, it almost doesn't make sense to continue to use After Effects for a budgetary purpose. Because I was thinking, oh, well, After Effects is so much cheaper because you're just spending a couple bucks a month. But that adds up throughout the year. Anyway, so I switched to Moho. Man, is there a way I can show you my screen? How can I do this? This is my first live. I don't know what I can do. I don't know if I can share. Is that it? Share screen. Here we go. All right. I'm just going to give you a little rundown. Let me look. What does this say? Choose what I want to show. Oh, here, let me show you this. So this is the post I made right here. So I made this character in Moho, and I have a similar character like this in oh, I got my picture done. Dude, this is crazy. Okay. So now I want to, now what can I show you? Can I show you Moho? Does that work? Or is it all web-based? All right, let's close that. Man, I wish I could show you the programs I'm using. Can I show you that? Or does it have to be on the web? Like I can't show you my screenshots. Oh. Healthy, wealthy jumbo. Hello. Good evening, sir. Or madam. Wait, I don't know what that is. Odds are I'm gonna just ruin this entire thing. Anyway, yeah. So I chose to use Moho, and I'm gonna tell you this: the learning curve is very steep. Going from After Effects into Moho, it's a different language completely. So if you think, oh, I know After Effects pretty well, I'm gonna do good in Moho, throw it out the window, because you're learning a different language, a different way to animate, a different way to build your characters, all of that. But the beauty of it is, I thought I was pushing the limits of After Effects. I thought, man, I'm doing some really amazing things here, and I had a community of people like you around me saying, whoa, I can't believe you can do that in After Effects. And what it was doing was it was encouraging me to be like, hey, I'm onto something here. But in reality, what was happening is that what we were doing in After Effects had already been done like 10 years ago in other programs. Like they were paving the way, and After Effects is just trying to catch up. And the things you can do in Moho are astronomically more advanced than what you can do in After Effects. And they do it better. Man, I really wish I could show you my screen. How can I guess I can't do it. Window, entire screen. Entire screen? Let's do that. I'm going to share it. All right. I hope it works. If it's not working, someone call out to me and be like, hey, it doesn't work. All right. So this is a character that I've created in Moho. I just want to show you something. I'm going to hit the space bar and watch what happens. Oh my gosh, the animation, it works. The animation plays. Okay. From an aesthetic look, you can do this. You can achieve the same thing in After Effects, not a problem. The problem is After Effects would never render an animation like this immediately. You'd have to sit there for like a couple minutes just to see what this character was going to do. And I want to point out a few things here. You see the hair moving? I didn't animate that. That's all just physics. A simple way to incorporate cloth. Look at it. This little towel, this little belt thing he's got. I didn't animate that. It's all just physics based on my animation of his body. It's amazing. Another thing that's blowing my mind is I've created this animation. You see how he's kind of posed to his right, screen left. I can rotate it to where he's now facing screen right, his left. The animation needs a little bit of tweaking, but it's the same animation, and I've done nothing other than just rotate his body. It blows my mind that this is even a possibility. And you can do so much stuff in this program that, for one, you can do 360-degree rotations for the head and the body. You can just set up things so much easier. So let me give you a little rundown of some things that I absolutely love. So I've set it up so that when I raise his arm up, You see how his shoulder moves? His shoulder comes up with it. It gives it such a natural look. You can see right here his clavicle is moving upward. So as he rotates up, oh, it's beautiful. And the seams on his shirt, they don't break. Let's see if I can. So you see how his shoulder comes this way and it still moves. Look at that. It's really cool. It's such an intuitive program. Like, it understands a little bit about what you're trying to achieve, and it just like fills in the blanks. Like, obviously it takes a lot of work to get to this point, but you could never do this in After Effects. Okay, and I'm not being drastic. I'm not being dramatic. It's just the truth. After Effects is a great program for motion graphics, some character animation, and video editing. But when you're getting into a rig like this, I've come to find and I've learned it just it's not conducive. Now, I have no idea if you saw anything that I just showed you. I don't know, because I'm not sure I don't know how this live stream works. Seth Johnson, thanks. Did you guys see that all right? Was that, it wasn't, the screen wasn't like messing up or anything, was it? Yeah, Moho's, it's legit. Like, it just blows my mind. And it makes me so frustrated that I've spent so long in After Effects, and it just took one project where I was like, I can't animate like this anymore, for me to go find Moho. And that's oh, cool. Thanks, Seth. Now let me set this up real quick. I'm going to show you what the same rig looks like in After Effects. I know I don't need to show it to you. You guys probably already know that After Effects is very hard to work in, especially when you're trying to do like real-time renders and look at it. Let's go ahead and open this. I would say that both tools, you can animate or you can rig your characters pretty easily with both tools if you know what you're doing. But the end result for Moho is just so much better. All right, let me see if I can share this screen with you. So now I'm going to share. Let's do it. Now I'm going to show you the same rig in After Effects. And right off the bat, I'm just going to pick his arm up. Now that lag you're seeing is not because of the rendering of my screen rate, my refresh rate on my screen. That's exactly how this rig animates. One rig. And the project that I'm on now sometimes has like 20 characters in it. Can you imagine animating 20 characters like this? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't do anything. And I know I've kind of, essentially what I've done is I've created this giant boulder that I can no longer move. You know, like the client continues. What ends up happening is the scope of work increases. And so I always get super ambitious and I think, well, let me just make a character that can do everything you want. And in doing so, you end up creating this beautiful turd that you can't touch. It's a stinky turd that nobody wants to animate with. And that's what I got here. It's just a piece of junk. And yeah, let me go back, man, because like, look at this. Dude, even being in this right now, it makes me angry. It makes me angry that I've sat through this for so long. Look at this. I'm telling you, it's not the screen that you're seeing that's taking so long. It's the actual program. There was times that I would animate this character and I wouldn't even see what the animation was. I would just move him into place, and I had to know from my own experience exactly how many frames it would take for him to do that movement. And I couldn't watch the animation. It was literally going from like frame 0 to frame 18, do the motion, then I hold, and then I go from frame 24 to frame like 36. I do a motion, and I had to get really comfortable with knowing how long it took to do something because I couldn't watch the animation. Super frustrating. So that's why I switched to Moho. I'm still in a transition, and so what I think I want to do with these live streams is because I feel like I'll probably do one like once a week now. I don't think nobody wants to see me once a day. So maybe once a week, Monday. What I want to do is just kind of like show you my journey into Moho. Because the animation software is so cool. You know, it's like I was watching this podcast with Glenn Kane, and he was talking about somebody giving a lecture on animation, and they were just killing it. They were doing such a good job because they were excited about it. And he was like, the reason you share that information is because you can't contain it. When you find out something useful and something exciting and new, you want to share it with people. And that's exactly the mentality that I'm having now, is that I feel like I've been living in a dark cloud for so long using After Effects that finding this has been such a breath of fresh air and such a relief that I just kind of want to be like, hey, let's do this. Like, get out of After Effects. You know, it's going to be a steep learning curve. It took me about a week to fully grasp like how to rig a character, how to use the program. So it's not an easy thing by any means. And I still have so much to learn. But I mean, they're creating shows, you know, like Puff and Rock and My Father's Dragon. And there's a few other studios that are using Moho really well to a professional level. Cartoon Saloon is obviously probably the biggest one. But dude, it's just it's awesome, you know? And so what I think I'll do with these live streams, because to be honest, I've enjoyed the tutorial side of things. It's been okay. They're just super hard to do. It takes so much time. It's such a time-consuming thing. You know, I can spend days drafting a tutorial, editing the videos, and then uploading. And then I always end up with people like, hey, you didn't do it right, or can you continue? Like, why didn't you add this part? Like, what's the next steps? And, you know, there's always more that people are looking for that I'm just like, I can't give it to you. But I can do this. Like, I can come onto this platform here. I can animate for you. And if you want to watch the process and just to get a feel of like the way that I think about animation and the way that I would move a character, like that's what I want. I would love for people to be along with me on the process while we're learning how to use Moho. And even Moho's like, it doesn't have to be about Moho. It's strictly about animation. Like, let's learn how to animate a character. And I just have new tools to make me more proficient in animation. And that's where we're going. And then I'll share some other things like, you know, maybe some stories that I'm working on. And awesome. Set. Yeah. It's animate. So it's really just about community, dude. Hey guys, I don't work with anybody. So you're like my coworkers, you know? So like I sit in this office all day. I mean, you know, I have some minor interactions with like creative directors and stuff, but I don't talk to anybody. So that's kind of like, you're my outlet, you know? Like I'll have my kids run in every now and then and they'll like talk to me about something and want to see what I'm working on. But, you know, for the most part, I don't have an outlet to be like, oh, hey, there's my coworker over here. Let me just go, you know, talk their ear off for 10 minutes. So you gotta, what is it, like 10,000 words a day everybody has to speak, and you're gonna talk those 10,000 words to somebody. So I mean, I have a family I talk to, but for 8 hours of a day, I'm right here. And so I end up talking 10,000 of those hours, or those words, like boom, right in the window between dinner and putting my kids to bed. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, if you guys have any questions or any feedback on what you would like to see, let me know, guys. Like, I'm here, I'm listening. It's kind of blowing my mind that there's even 10 people in here watching right now. It's cool. I love it. I didn't expect a single person to witness my rant. And here you guys are. You're all watching me right now. It's crazy. This is weird. But yeah, going back to the tutorials. Yeah, I know that I've made my following based off the tutorials. The only reason you guys are here is probably because you've watched my tutorials. And thank you. Like, that's amazing. So moving forward, I'm not saying I'm not going to do tutorials ever again. I'm sure at some point, if you guys are Moho users or interested in Moho, I'll have to do some kind of a tutorial to demonstrate why it's so awesome. But moving forward, I don't think tutorials is what I'm going to be focused on. It's going to be more community-based. Let's just hang out. Let's just, drink some coffee. It's early in the morning where I'm from. And I just want to just animate. It's going to be partially like a work day for me because I got work to do. So I'm going to show you how I do my work. It's going to be a lot less about the content and more about the process. And if you guys can benefit from that, great. If not, cool. Don't watch. But yeah, other than that, some of the cool things about Moho that I've learned, you can do this in After Effects, but with Moho, when you animate something, let's say I have an animation of somebody shooting a hoop. I can take just the animation, not the character, not that file, just the animation keyframes. I can save that as an action, and it goes into a folder. And when I open up another character that has a similar rig, I can go, cool, I'm going to take that action and put it to that character. And now they're doing the basketball shoot. And it's so simple. There's no copying keyframes. There's nothing like that. What's up, Guam? How's it going, Agent? So that's amazing. Like, I could get away with that in After Effects. I could do it to some degree, but there was always these conflicts of rigging errors. It was the cumbersome task of importing a file. Now you can just simply take that action and put it to your character, and you can do multiple actions in your timeline. And that's what's so amazing, is that you can really build out a library of animation that you'll never have to do again. And what's also cool is that even if the rigs are a little different, so let's say I have a character who's smaller, and we'll say my original character is normal, and now I have a character who's a little smaller, maybe wider and pudgier. That animation theoretically will still work because it's not looking necessarily at the size of the bones and whatnot. It's just the movements of the bones. So even if the bone is shrunk down, it's looking at this joint here going, well, how does it move? I don't care how long it is, just how does it move? And that's amazing. That so intuitive to have a program that's going to go, cool, let's just make animation easier for you. After Effects doesn't care. They're not saying, let's make animation easier for you. Because if they were, it'd make After Effects run much more proficient for animators. And I think After Effects, as powerful as it is, it's not an animation tool. It was really designed for, creating effects. And then other people have found these ways to kind of code and script their own programs into making it an animation tool, which is amazing. But Adobe's always pushing um, their own animation programs, like Adobe Animate, and those programs are cool. They have better runtime, real-time runs. But the problem is the limitations in those programs are very apparent. They're like years away from catching up to like Toon Boom and Moho, and even After Effects. Like, it's so funny to think that their animation software is not near After Effects yet. After Effects would be wonderful if it didn't take so long to watch your animation play back. That's the worst part about it. And to move a character around is terrible. Anyway, I love After Effects. It's kind of what's gotten me started in my career. What's funny is that when I started animation, I took an After Effects class in my college courses. And I remember thinking, why would anyone use this program? The lag was terrible back then. And this was before I was even making rigs. It was just moving shapes around. And I thought, well, I'm glad I never have to touch this, because at the time I was thinking, I'm going to be a 3D animator. I'm going to be an animator who makes stories for Pixar and Disney. I'm not going to be a 2D animator. Why would I ever use After Effects? And so I took the class. I was like, I'm done with it. I'm never going to touch After Effects again. And then I graduated college. I didn't find work for literally 3 years. 3 years I couldn't find work. And then finally, somebody that I knew was starting this job at a company where they were like, hey, we want to do this animation. Can you do it? I was like, yeah, I can do it. But we learned really quickly that 3D wasn't going to be an option, because these were going to have to be like really quick turnaround times on the production. So I started thinking, well, I know After Effects, kind of. And then I started rigging in After Effects. And then I got sucked into it from that. This was 12 years ago. From that moment on, I became an After Effects animator. And yeah, thanks, D. And from that moment on, I got sucked into After Effects. And I've just been trying to make it fit my needs ever since. But sadly, I feel like After Effects is a broken tool that you're always going to be trying to make it kind of fit this shape that you want it to, but it never actually fits it. And I know that's like a bold statement. Like, there's plenty of stuff you can do in After Effects that's beautiful and perfect and exactly what you need. But for what I'm doing with the character rigs and the way that I want them to move, After Effects just doesn't work. So I guess I can't hold it against After Effects for not being exactly what I want it to be, because there's other programs that do that. So, yes, thank you all for watching. I don't want to rant for too long. Coming up on 28 minutes now. 28-minute rant. That feels pretty good. Got off my chest. Feels nice. So the next one, I honestly don't know. I don't know when I'll come back to this, but let's just keep it a tentative Monday. Monday at 9, maybe? I don't know. Well, 9 o'clock for me. I don't know what time you guys are watching from. Someone's from Guam, so what time is it in Guam? I don't know. I'll just wrap it up here with one more minute to cap it off at a nice 30 minutes. What, you started Moho because of me? I just started. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean that's great. It was funny because when I did that post, I just assumed everybody knew what Moho was and they were choosing After Effects. I kind of had a general idea of what Moho was, but I was resisting it because I was like, yeah, After Effects is fine for now. But it was funny to see, like, I got a lot of people being like, whoa, what's Moho? What, 2:44 a.m. in Guam? What are you doing up? Go to bed. That's crazy. I'm asleep by 10 o'clock every night. I can't stay up past 11. And I still wake up looking like this. It's crazy. Yeah, it's funny because Moho is, and I just broke the 30-minute mark. Gosh, I can't stop talking. It's funny because Moho, you sleep in daytime? Oh, man. So Moho has like, when you get into Moho at first, it's kind of easy to rig the bones to a character. It's easy to set up a very basic rig. The challenges start when you start to think, well, now I want it to do this when I raise the arm and the head turns and all that stuff. And then you open up a huge can of worms. You're like, okay, so now I have to learn all of these different things with the bones and the rigging system. And it can get pretty complex really fast because I don't want to get into it. We'll do that another day. Anyway, Stephanie, is there going to be a Discord too? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how to use Discord. I use Discord for like sending files to a client, but with Discord you can do like audio or like comment. I don't know how that works. This is all trial and error. So this one went fine, I guess. Like, I've had a steady flow of like 10 people watching. That's amazing. 7 likes. Woo! Jeez. Anyway, I don't know what this holds. I don't know what these tutorials are going to look like. Or not tutorials, these live streams. It might just be this. It might just be me ranting every Monday morning. Realistically, I think it's going to be, you're going to just watch me. I'm going to animate. I'm going to talk. I might check your feeds and your comments every now and then, but other than that, this has been fun. It's been fine. I don't know. Time has flown. It feels like I just started this thing and I've been here for 30 minutes. Anyway. All right, guys. I don't know. I'll see you on Monday or Sunday or Tuesday, wherever you're from. For me, it'll be Monday, 9 a.m. I think I'm on Mountain Standard Time in Boise. Shout out to Boise if you're from Boise. No? Okay. Anyway. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. It's beyond my wildest dreams that 9 people would watch me. This is so cool. Again, I hope I can encourage you to either stick with After Effects if it fits your needs, or to move to Moho or Toon Boom or whatever it might be, just a better program, because I feel like as After Effects animators, we kind of like start to convince ourselves that these things are normal. The computer should take forever to render. That's fine. I shouldn't be able to watch my animation in real time. No, it's normal. It's not normal. Other animators have an enjoyable time animating because they can watch exactly what they do right there when they do it. For those of you who have just joined, I'm going to show you this one more time just to get you excited for Moho before I close out. This, oh man, this is just, I still love it. I still love it. So again, an animation I did, I hit the space bar and it just starts playing. And again, all the hair and the cloth, the belt, those are all physics. I didn't animate that. Now I could go in and fine tune it a little bit more. Maybe it's a little too springy or whatnot. The other thing that is really cool is you have this dynamic range in your animation that I can change. So right now, I can change him looking more to the left or more to the right. And that animation just plays out as such. It might need a little tweaking because I had the intention of him animating to his right, screen left. But you can see it's so cool that you can change subtleties in your animation to get a different feel. And I guess while I'm here, let me just show you. You can tilt the mouth. These are all just things that you rig yourself. So it's not like something that's built into the program that goes, okay, just put your mouth here. Like these are all things that I've done. So you can make the mouth width bigger, open and close the mouth. I can change the shape of his mouth. The tilt again. I can make him happy or sad. So, and this is essentially how you would, now you can do mouth shapes, just like simple image stills of those mouth shapes, or you can do a more kind of complex rig like this. I always like to have a little bit of control over something as organic as a mouth. So that's why I chose to do it this way. And you can see that the head still turns and the mouth moves with it. Really cool stuff. And again, you can make pointed corners or rounded corners. And you can really like change. You can get a really like really flexible rig. I mean, that stuff's so cool. I love it. And it's not done yet. Oh, another thing, look at this. I still have to work a little bit more on this, but when I lift his leg up, you see how this, I don't know what you call it, a skirt, it moves with him. I've got to fix his belt here. It's kind of broken. That's all stuff that you animate into it. It's just amazing. It works so beautifully. And if I do his leg that way, it fixes it. Really cool stuff. My biggest thing that I love the most is lifting the arm and seeing that shoulder move with it. Because you know in After Effects, when you lift a character's arm, it just looks weird. It pinches, and then it no longer looks like his arm should be above his head. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about. But with this program, you can fix those things really simply. They have things over here called actions. There's a lot of actions in this one, but essentially how it works is for this arm, let me see if I can find it. What I did was I animate the arm moving up right here like so, and I push all of the shape layers. I push all the shape layers into the position that I want. And that's how you do it. And so now, see how I move this up and I move the arm shape layer around. And so once you have it done, now when I move the arm up in my animation, it just automatically does it. It's so amazing. And same with this sleeve. I want to show you something on the sleeve. You see how it's resting on his forearm? When I rotate the arm around, now it's resting on the underside of his forearm. Because gravity pulls our clothes to the ground. See? And I can even move this around. And this has the physics on it. So he could be long sleeved or short sleeved. I got to find the right spot. But you get it. And I got different hand shapes in here. Now you could rig up a hand and make it actually move with the fingers and all that. I thought it'd be easier just to create hand shapes. You can move it just like that. And then I'm also adding in kind of like this scrunching effect. So you can get, so they're not just like still images of a hand, but you can actually get some movement out of them. Anyway, that's it. I just thought I'd kind of like share that with you. No, it's all vector. So that's the cool thing too, is like you don't have to worry about composition size. You don't have to worry about hitting that little rasterization tab every time you like render out a scene. This thing is completely vector based, so you can scale it as big as you want, shrink it down. Oh my gosh, I just saw this amazing tutorial by Moho where you can take an animation like the one I have here where it's all vector, and you can apply these brushes to it that makes it look like this beautiful charcoal painting. And it looks like a charcoal image, like a crayon thing where you animate it now. And you can adjust everything about it because it's completely vector based. So if you don't like exactly how the texture looks, you can change it. If you don't like how the opacity of it looks, you can change it. And the width of the stroke around your character can be changed. Oh, dude, it's just amazing what you can actually achieve with it. Because it looks like it was... Go to Moho because they just released this tutorial. They call them webinars. And essentially... they show you exactly how to do it. It's so easy. You just create your stroke and then all of a sudden apply a texture to it. It's amazing. It's like After Effects and Illustrator and Toon Boom all rolled into one. Now, I don't want to talk about Toon Boom because honestly, I don't know enough about it. I tried a trial version of it for like a week. It was fine. It was just going to be a bigger chunk of change than I was really willing to spend at that time. Super expensive. Anyway, yeah, everything is real time. Yeah, you need to keep your rigs as simple as possible, and that's the problem with me. Is like I'm always pushing myself to make a better rig, and it always ends up being super complex with multiple compositions that are talking to each other. And then After Effects freaks out and goes, nope, no more, stop. And but with this, what's crazy is you can throw the most complex rig at Moho and it still goes, that's fine. I'll render it for you just in real time. It's perfect. Anyway, that was my main push. I want to get out of After Effects because I can't move my characters anymore. They're not responsive. I've created something too powerful. After Effects doesn't interact with me anymore. And I wanted to bring the joy back to animation. And that's where Moho came in. Moho is bringing that joy of animation back to me. And I'm excited about it because the idea that I can actually move a character and it actually moves, it's exciting to me. And not just any character, not like a simple like vector silhouette of a character, like an actual character that you could put into a movie and it would hold up with the quality because there's so much going on with it that it just, it has everything that you would need for film, like full rotations, body dynamics. That's the one thing with animation that I've always strived to like distance myself from is animation itself can be stiff. And as an animator, you want to push yourself to make your animations as fluid as possible. But having a stiff rig is a big reason why animations look poor or stiff or not polished. And having things like a shoulder that moves up. I mean, look at this. When I raise my arm, can you see if my shoulder comes up with it? Like, that's a big thing for me. Anyway, we're losing people. I'm losing you guys. We're down to 7 people. Thank you, you 7. You stood strong. You stuck with me. Anyway, I know I was going to stop at 30 minutes, and now we're at 44. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to try this again next week because we had a good success. And thank you guys for interacting. Thanks for asking questions, telling me your thoughts. I really appreciate it. And until next time, 1 week from today, let's try it. And if it works out and it's really good, maybe I'll do one twice a week, 3 times a week. If you guys are still willing to listen to me and watch my animation process. This one was different again because, I don't know. I just wanted to tell you about Moho. Next week will be me actually working in Moho. So feel free to stop by, talk, whatnot. Awesome. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.